that matter.
You know, it's called Making Movies That Matter because the reason for it all is to allow these kids to make a movie that matters to them. There are movies you'll see ripped from the headlines about what we're talking about as a society. If it's important to the kids, we're going to allow them to show it tonight. Art programs in our schools, you know, are non-existent anymore, so we wanted as a gift to provide all of our elementary, middle, and high schools the opportunity to make a movie and learn everything from directing to acting and everything in between, and you're going to see some amazing films tonight.
What is the name of the film you produced?
A ship that went down in history.
Continuity at the park.
AI will take over our jobs.
It's about racial equality.
Overworked and underpaid. It's basically like a mockumentary about how like the girl on our team, Maya, is like actually overworked and stuff.
Me and Sam was an animation on TikTok getting banned.
Unbuckled.
What was it about?
Seatbelts, the importance of wearing seatbelts.
What was the inspiration behind this film and what was your role in it?
Well, I was an actor and my inspiration was with my team.
It's making fun of like trying to point out the flaws and make it obvious to make it into a joke.
What was it about? Like, what was the inspiration behind this film?
It was basically like to have a heart of gold and to like kind of like not be rude to other people.
Like the main topic is like mental health awareness.
A painter's opportunity.
Do you know what it's about? What was it about?
It's about like this painter that apparently everyone thinks his art is bad, so he gives up being a painter. He dies of depression, but then some mysterious person finds his art and it becomes famous.
It's called The Boy Getting Bullied.
Okay, what was the inspiration behind that?
Kind of our film teacher, he kind of was telling us like stuff we could do, and this kind of clicked as like a school.
Okay.
Also, we want to show like people shouldn't be getting bullied. Our movie's about getting bullied because a kid is poor, and we want to show that you shouldn't get bullied because of those reasons.
Yeah, trying to make sure like we spread awareness to people who are getting bullied to like stand up for themselves.
What was your role in this project?
I was the director of the movie,
What's the name of the movie?
True Colors.
And what was that about?
It was about people like being colorful and like gray and white, like how they become different and like change something.
What's the name of the film that you guys were a part of?
The stress. The mess. Oh, shit.
And what was it about?
About like kids that were making a movie, they have stress with each other, so they just can't like figure out what to do, and then they get it all back all together.
We made Wrong House Dorks. It's a little short film.
Yeah.
What's it about?
It's about a kid who wanted to be with a girl, but another kid kept pushing him out of the way. So then we went to the girl's house and played a song, but it ended up being the wrong house. And yeah.
It's called Wrong House.
Okay, you don't want to give it all away yet, right? So what was the inspiration for this movie? What was the message?
The message is just shoot your shot when you can and just own it, I guess.
What inspired this film for you?
We argued about it, even though it's about kindness.
What do you mean you argued about it?
No, it's because one person had an idea and the other had an idea. I didn't really have the idea, so they considered me as a tiebreaker.
What was your role in the project?
I mostly filmed and edited the videos.
Do you like editing?
I think it's okay.
Yeah. What would you do instead when it comes to filmmaking and the whole process?
If I had a choice, I think I would want to be one of the main actors.
Yeah?
Or a stunt double.
I'm just like the screenwriter for like my movie. I created like the lines and everything like that.
All right. What was one of your biggest takeaways from being a part of a project like this? What did you learn?
Oh, I learned that listening to other people is key. Yeah, you just kind of have to listen to everybody and see what they say and see what they think.
Now, were you all friends before this? Yes. Okay, and how did being in this project together make the bond a little tighter?
I think
It shows that we're all able to work together, even if maybe sometimes there's something that we don't all agree on. But in the end, we were able to figure it out.
Okay, because I'm curious, what did that do to you guys as a friendship unit? Like being a part of this, putting a project together, overcoming challenges. You go first.
Definitely like more closer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We became more closer as friends.
You did.
Like definitely felt more of a connection.
Is that the role that you would hope to play in the future as a director or an actor? What would you like to do?
I like directing. I'm actually directing a theater play that I'm doing for like my actual school and not just the club.
What was the role like?
The role was pretty fun. When you messed up, you did it again. It was repeat, repeat, repeat. And it's super hard not to mess up because when something happens and you think it's funny, it's like you laugh. So you gotta keep on doing it over and over again.
Did you like it?
It was pretty fun.
You think you'll pursue acting as a career?
It's potentially, yes.
How do you think creating this film has influenced you moving forward?
Like to show like how to be always respectful, and when you be respectful, everything that you do, God can give you back.
And you have to always be nice to everyone and know that you can do it.
To always work with your friends to try to get out.
What was that sort of the experience for you in making this film, like working with your friends?
Yeah, it was definitely not easy trying to keep a straight face.
That to not give up, and that at one time something will always come back.
And if someone were to ask you about this program, what would you tell them about it based on your own experience?
I think it's an amazing program to let students really express themselves and create movies that could, maybe benefit them in the future.
And how did this program help you guys make this film come to life?
They taught us how to do all the proper techniques and how to really form a movie.
Were you guys friends all before? Okay, what was the process like? Like, did you guys all get along every single time you guys got together?
No.
What were some of the biggest challenges?
Some of the biggest challenges were like, we all had different ideas and we didn't know which idea to agree on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How did you come to an agreement? How does that happen?
We agreed.
We just agreed?
We just agreed on one, like...
It didn't.
Some of us didn't really agree, but...
I think my biggest lesson was basically like learning to compromise with like certain things and just get along.
I mean, I think there were times where the friendship was tested, and there were times where it made the friendship stronger.
It was a great experience?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to make friends like them. I got a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun to make friends and also just have the creativity to make films, do whatever.
Did you like editing?
Yes. For two of the movies, I was director, but I really wanted to try editing.
Oh, then I guess you can help them out with that, huh?
Yeah.
Were you guys friends before?
Yeah.
Okay, and how was the dynamic between you two working on projects together?
It was pretty much good.
Yeah?
Yeah, great.
For the most
Great.
part?
Yes.
Any problems you had to overcome?
No, not much.
You guys make a great team then. Amazing. What would you tell other people who are interested in coming into this program?
That they should, and it's really fun, and it's a good way to spend time with your friends.
What's something that you learned just being in the program in general?
Having to work with my friends, and sometimes there are the ups and downs.
I love that. How did you overcome the downs?
Well, there was this one kid, his name is Zane, he's in our class, and he said he wasn't going to do it anymore just because he got angry for I don't know what reason, but then we persuaded him to keep doing it, and he loves it.
That sounds like teamwork.
Right.
I was the director and the cameraman, and it was very fun too.
Did you enjoy it?
Of course.
All right, awesome. What was your role in the film?
My role, I was the bully.
You were the bully. What did you learn from being in that role?
I learned that bullying is not okay, and that you should never do it.
Did you like being a cameraman?
No.
Who is that?
That's my dad and my mom.
And they're your #1 fans?
Yes.
What was your role in this movie?
I was actually
Well, we had a part with a devil and angel. The angel is actually the good decision. The devil is a bad decision. I was the devil, like I am in the family.
What would you tell other people that are interested in coming into this program?
I'll be like, you'll have a chance to like film, you'll be director, you'll be able to act a specific kind of person. And like, it's just really fun to be, yeah.
That's awesome. What did you learn?
I learned how to become a director. Yeah.
What were some of your responsibilities?
Trying to be safe, responsible, and respectful.
What would you say was your experience?
It was like very interesting and fun.
It was fun and interesting.
It was fun and like it was also like fun being like hanging out with each other.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was very questionable.
What do you mean?
Like, we didn't really know what was going on until we actually finally figured it out.
Okay, you guys kind of learned along the way. Okay, what would you tell people that ask you about this program?
Like, sometimes you could get like a bit like crazy or like confusing at some times, but you will always work it out.
Insomnia.
Okay, and what was it about?
It's about a middle school kid who's struggling since he has insomnia. He's not able to get his projects done. It's a very hard experience for him.
Well, what was the inspiration behind that?
I feel like the inspiration was just to make a fun project, but also to tell a story about the kid.
How do you think the story will resonate with other people?
I feel like if people were also affected by insomnia or sleep deprivation, I feel like they would relate to this story as well.
And what's it about?
It's pretty much like sibling drama.
Sibling drama. What's the message of this film that you guys put together?
Pretty much is that if you sometimes think that you hate your sibling, it turns out that you actually love them.
Do you have siblings?
No, she doesn't. Ours is called The Reunion.
Okay, and what's it about?
And it's about this kid, his parents go missing, and then him and his best friend try to find them.
And what was the inspiration behind this?
Don't judge someone without knowing their whole story.
Do you like filmmaking?
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
It was kind of challenging, but
that was challenging. How did you overcome that challenge? What did you do?
I kind of just pushed through and make sure to just like efficiency plus timing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What did you learn from being in that role?
That it's not like nice to bully people, and basically.
Why did you guys choose that message? Why is it so important right now to talk about that?
Because it's more relatable, and it happens a lot in like reality, so that's why we chose it.
And what was your experience being a part of this project?
Glad.
Yeah, did you like it?
Yes.
What would you tell other students who are thinking about joining a program like this? What would you tell them based on your experience to join or not to join?
Obviously join. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Although we did have to spend a lot of recesses and lunches coming to finish it on time.
There was some sacrifice in making this film, right? What would you say?
I would say that there's a lot of creativity that you get to put into the films, and it's really fun.
That's amazing. What was your experience?
It was really good, and I liked how we could combine our ideas into one great movie.
I guess like seeing the behind the scenes of things, like we really had to like plan ahead and then like, okay, we gotta do this on this day and then we gotta retake this, so we gotta go back.
Some challenges we had to overcome is like, we always have to stick together for some stuff. Like even if we have some issues and difficulties, but always like be nice to others the way you want to be treated.
Yeah. Would you do it again?
Yeah.
Work together again and do another film together?
Yeah, it's so much fun.
We did a PSA about like mental health issues and suicidal thoughts, and a lot of
Okay. What was the inspiration behind it? Like, what was the main message of this film?
To like to remember like you're not alone and that a lot of other people has experienced through it, and to just like for like people to like remember that there are a lot of people who care about them even when they think they don't.
I love that. What about the message for your film over here? What is it about?
It's where like two kids in Mexico move to California and they get deported back to Mexico, but they're trying to run from agents.
What did you learn?
I did learn not to live in fear, and I learned that even though you're born in a different country doesn't mean you shouldn't live here.
It's about to be with strangers.
Okay, and what was the inspiration? What's the message behind this film?
To keep away from strangers to stay safe.
To keep away from strangers and stay safe. Okay, and when you guys were putting this together, what was the process like? What did you guys have to do?
We had to work really hard because acting that was the first challenge. Okay. Trying to keep a straight face and following the script.
Yeah. What was your role?
My role was a police officer.
Ooh, what was your role?
I was Sylvia, the main character.
What was your role?
I was the director.
Okay.
Editor.
All right. Did you like what you did?
Yeah.
Would you pursue it as a career, would you say?
Maybe.
And what would you tell other kids or students that want to join this program? What was your experience like? What did you learn?
I learned that if you join, just when you're in your group, just give them good ideas. And if you don't goof around, you can make a really good movie.
Our film is about screen addiction.
Ooh.
And Liam's the main actor, so I'm gonna let him.
All right, tell me a little bit about the film. What was the inspiration? What's the message behind this film?
The message behind it is to not always be addicted to your phone, to pay attention to your surroundings and listen to what other people are saying to you.
And if some other students want to join this program, what would you say you learned from it?
Don't do everything the day before you need it.
Don't do that.
Don't underestimate. Make times because meet up, not just the day before you need it.
But do a lot of work when you have time to do it. Don't just sit around, because then you'll have to do it last minute.
What's the name of the film?
Continuity Flow at the Park.
What's it about?
Basically about comedy.
It's comedy? What was the inspiration behind it?
I guess I watched funny shows. I wanted to create some on my own.
Yeah. And do you guys aspire to be in film moving forward?
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Maybe become a director.
You want to be a director? What about you?
Acting, singing, dancing, stuff like that.
The whole nine, okay.
Singing.
Say?
The name of the film is called Inner Minds.
What's that about?
It's about 3 girls who take a pop quiz, and it's a really big test. And each of them has something different going on. One of them has divorced parents, and it's really crazy at her house. One of them stays up super late doing extra credit, and one of them is a perfectionist, so everything has to be perfect for her.
It sounds like there's a relatable character in this film for everybody, right? And what do you say was the message behind of it?
The message is probably don't let your inner voice take you down. But I've been making movies on an iPad for a long time.
Oh, okay. What is your inspiration behind that?
Pretty much video games.
She was the one who produced it. We were just actors. We were helping her with it.
Okay, what was it about?
Okay, so it follows the story of a girl who's struggling with keeping up with her hobbies for fear of being judged by her friends, specifically the hobby being cosplaying, because it's often looked down on as childish. Yeah. And everyone always says only dress up for Halloween, but some people like to continue to dress up all year. So I just wanted to spread awareness to that.
What is your film project about?
My film project is about that girls can be heroes too.
Ooh, what was the inspiration about that?
It was mostly how girls are treated differently in schools, like sports and maybe different school activities.
Yeah, it sounds like a very encouraging film, very positive.
It was about empathy on how others feel when you tell them something and how you would feel if they tell you that.
The overall message that we hope people will grab from it is that you don't have to change yourself for other people to like you. You just have to be yourself and other people will like you for you.
What is the name of the film project that you were involved in?
Fear is not the way to live.
Tell me a little bit about that. What is the message there?
It's how to overcome social anxiety and identifying your friends. We came up with it because some of us struggle with social anxiety and we want to project onto the characters.
You should do what your dream follows, and if you want to be an actor, you should try it.
All right, what about you?
I feel wait, tell what?
What would you tell other students about this program and your experience with it?
I feel like it's a really fun program, and you get to do fun things like this every day.
The message is to love yourself and don't treat yourself bad. Don't treat yourself like you're not somebody.
Like,
don't try to go get a professional football player. You're gonna get crap. I mean, it's kind of like Darman. If you ever seen Darman,
kind of like a Darman, actually. I never thought of it.
The inspiration to this was basically like Darman. We made it so young kids like us would not.
Younger kids, like fourth to fifth.
No, kids like us wouldn't hate themselves.
I love that. That sounds like a really powerful message, guys.
Our movie name is Special.
Special? Okay, what's that about? What's the message?
It's about a kid that came from Australia and wanted to be like the other cool kids, but the message is like to be yourself and because everybody else is already taken, so you have to be yourself.
So the message is that you can't prove a point by hurting others. So you can prove a point, but not by hurting others. And the movie is about how it was based off of how my friend used to be mean to people who were Jewish. But I asked him to stop and told him how hurtful it was, and he stopped. So I just wanted to share that message with everyone around. That's for hate.
There's no room for hate. I love that. That's so powerful. No room to hate. What's the message behind that?
The message is to never hate anybody. There's no room for that anywhere, nowhere. Don't ever hate on anybody.
And when you guys were putting this together, what was the inspiration? What were you guys talking about that you were like, we should make a film about this?
We were talking about different ideas to explain how hate is a very wrong thing to do. We talked about racism, many other different forms of hating, and we just talked about how it's horrible to do that.
When you guys were talking about this film, what were you thinking about?
Like how like there's like a lot of hate in the world, and like how we can like change that and make it like better, and like tell people like, hey, like this isn't right, and like actually being a good like aspect for them and a good leader.
You know, what were some challenges that you had to overcome working together?
I think working with her, she has a strong personality. She always wants to be and I think I'm more of the flow, but I think it was also hard for both of us to come to the realization that these things are just happening around the world and not just in the movies, or it's real life experiences that people go through every day, and we need this to be heard around everywhere.
What was the message behind the film?
Eagles. Why eagles are important.
Okay, how did you guys come up with this?
Because my grandma was buying me a eagle costume, so I was like, oh, well, now we should do an eagle project because I didn't even know you were buying me this at all, so why not?
All right, well, what's the message? What do you think people are going to take away from this film?
I think they're going to take away that eagles, we should be a little bit more like aware of the environment and aware that we are slowly killing it.
Okay. And no illegal hunting.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't kill the environment.
I keep hearing like there's like lots of like really like bad bullying problems at like school, and I'm just wondering if like this film could like really maybe help to not cause that anymore.
He made up the idea, okay?
Yes.
You're just a team player.
Yes, he's a really good team player.
He's doing the ideas and I'm making it happen.
So I'm in this animation film called Drifting Away, and
I am in Twisted Sisters parody. That's the name of it.
Okay, and so it's separate ones. What is the message behind the one that you did?
Well, the message behind mine is animation film, and it's about like use your imagination for whatever you can. It'll make your day better.
Okay, and yours?
Rock and roll still matters.
And what do you have to say about this experience working in this program?
It's so fun.
It's really fun. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Were you all friends before doing this project together?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And now we have stronger bonds.
That was my next question. What were some things that you had to overcome?
The fear of acting and like trying to get the things together. The fear of an audience, showing
Sometimes we had disagreements, but like we worked through them, we compromised.
And it's a lot of hard work with like figuring out what time this is and how long we have to make it. It's a lot of anxiety, but we worked through it.
And would you recommend it to other kids who want to do something like this?
Yes, this is the best experience.